Welcome to Patscast, the unofficial Regina Pats podcast. I'm Matt.
I'm Chris.
And this is our episode for January 6, 2019.
Raiders turn it over. Duncan Pierce, shorthanded breakaway. Straight on Ballas, goes forehand. Stopped by the pad of Ballas, and he keeps it out. And the Pats have just tied it. Liam Scholler, back-to-back games. Right shot the line for Robbie Holmes. Skates right circle, snaps a shot and scores! Robbie Holmes! And we're tied 1-1.
Okay, everyone, hang on to your hats. We got a lot to talk about today. We had 4 games and a pile of trades and roster changes. And yeah, it was a busy week for John Paddock as well as the team themselves. So why don't we just start off with the games like we usually do, go chronological order. The last game, or the first game I guess I want to talk about, is the Prince Albert game. So we had beat them in Prince Albert, and frankly, coming to this game, I wasn't totally writing us off. The Pats seem to be playing a style of hockey right now that, I don't know, they just hang around, right? Like, they're relying on the goaltending, which we're getting right now, which is awesome. And they just seem to hang around, and they give up a ton of shots. They don't get a lot of shots, but it's kind of working, kind of. We're having some success.
Yeah, like it's not what we're used to seeing, that's for sure. Going into that game, okay, we just beaten PA, and if you would have told me we would have lost by 2 goals, one was an empty netter, I would have been, okay, that's fine. I'm fine with that result. But once we got into that game, we shouldn't have won the game, but we had a really good chance to win that game. And
yeah, I wasn't disappointed that we lost, because
no,
it wasn't out of the question that we were going to lose. It's kind of probable, but it was hard. They played so hard. It was a good game.
Yeah.
And then it was like, 5 or 6 minutes left, and the refs call some slash on Duncan Pierce. And maybe it was a slash, maybe it was, but in the end, it was such a gritty, hard game. And unless it was like a brutal slash that just broke some guy's wrist, you gotta let that go. It was such a hard game. Both teams it was such a gritty game.
Yeah, we're keeping them to the outside. Sure, we gave up shots, but I don't think we gave up a ton of quality scoring chances. And yeah, for it to come down to a penalty call there at the end, that was tough. Because
it really
was real tough.
Yeah, and then they
we got a couple lucky goals. Yeah, of course. Yeah,
we got lucky goals, and we're gonna obviously the play for that goaltender, how to play him, was just to shoot it from anywhere, and it seemed to work.
Well, I think once Scholler scored that goal, the floater, he was just putting it on net.
Yeah.
And then you see Crane just shoot it right from the side boards. He's just throwing pucks, and then everybody just started kind of shooting the puck, right? So you got your third string goalie in there. So
yeah, it's too bad. Yeah. It was a good game. It's too bad we couldn't get to at least overtime or something. But
yeah, for sure.
Just get frustrated when there's a call like that determines.
It was just
the game.
Inconsistency again, right? Joseph took a bad hit from behind again.
Mm-hmm.
That's a couple games in a row now. First Alkamov, and then Joseph in that game. Dangerous plays they're not calling, right? And then they're calling some ticky-tack slash.
Near the end of a game.
Near the end of a game, a tie game, right?
Yeah, that's going to have a big impact, but...
Yeah, it is what it is, I guess, so...
Yeah, so we gave up 56 shots in that game. It seems like that's maybe how things are going to go for the next little while, though, and I heard an interview with Max Paddock afterwards saying he doesn't really mind that much. That many shots isn't a horrible thing to a goaltender because they're constantly in the game, obviously, and they have to stay keep their mind in it the whole time. So he wasn't too put out by that many shots, but
Yeah, it kind of, yeah, it definitely keeps you in the game as long as you're not giving up, cross ice passes and
yeah,
good scoring
yeah,
chances. If it's hitting him in the chest for 40 of those 50 shots, like he'll take that all day, right? So,
yeah, yeah. Okay. Anything from that game you want to mention? Anything more?
nah, that's about it. It was
Yeah,
it was an, a bit of an ugly game, but I mean, like we were right there. It was a little disappointing that we lost in regulation. So,
yeah, yeah.
but against PA,
It
at
was a
least
good
we don't have
showing.
to see them and at least we don't have to see them for the rest of the year. So
True. Till
done with
playoffs.
them.
Yeah, right. Um, okay, then it was on to a game in Saskatoon. Another tough loss. Paddock,
I thought they came out good. Pats came out real good here at the
yeah,
start.
yeah. I think Saskatoon. I was reading and I had to listen to their broadcast, and they felt like they were not playing well, and the Pats were playing better. I don't know if they were more, they weren't seeing their team play very well. Is kind of how they were feeling. But
Yeah,
I guess it depends on which side of the fence you're on. It's either the Pats played pretty good or the Blades didn't, and either way, Paddock had another great game. The goal he did get scored on, Gerlach's
that
goal, it was an awesome shot. Like Gerlach, there was a tiny little corner
I
above.
thought he overcommitted a touch and he left a little more than a tiny
Yeah,
little corner.
well,
But it
yeah,
was a nice shot, top corner, either way.
yeah. It was. That's what I'm. It wasn't that tiny, I suppose. Yeah, but it
It just
was.
depends on
It
the
was the
angle, right?
one. The one spot that was open, he found it. So it
Yeah.
was a good shot. But yeah, maybe Paddock may have wanted that one back. I don't know. I'm seeing some players. I will get to all the trades and whatnot and the people that left, but I'm glad Pierce is still here. He just seems to be an opportunistic player. I'm noticing the puck is starting to find his stick, and if he could just get a bit more of a scoring touch, I think we'd be happy to keep him around.
Yeah, he had kind of had a breakaway there early in the first period.
Yeah,
He made a nice play to kick it back up to his stick, and then he ended up not getting a good scoring chance on it. But
yeah,
yeah, you notice him on the ice, and he's got the puck on his stick, and he's making some plays, right?
hmm,
So, and I don't think they're going to trade anybody that's not 19, right? So
no.
I'm not
Um,
surprised he's still here, but um,
Pratt's kind of stepping up a little bit too. He had the breakaway that led to them taking a penalty and then us getting the power play goal. And yeah, again, this is a team. The Pats is a team you can't let hang around. They'll just, if it's a 1-goal game, they might just get that lucky bounce and find a way to get those in. And you have to, if you're putting up 50, 45 shots on them, you have to start getting some of those in, because if you let them hang around, they can get those luck, because they're just playing hard right now and they're playing gritty, and they're going to get a few of those lucky bounces and things like that. So
yeah, like against PA, we were down, we took the lead. Saskatoon, we were down, we tied it up,
hmm,
we made it to overtime, right? And then like even the game tonight, it was they score, we score, they score, we score. We
yeah,
just couldn't get the next goal to go ahead, right?
yeah,
So
yeah. And Seattle eventually put it away after some penalty trouble.
yeah,
But again,
but
going
I
back to
mean,
this Saskatoon game, bit of penalty trouble. Set off takes that penalty. The interference right at the end of the game, which
yeah,
then led to a 4-on-3 in overtime. And the guy just got a step on him though, and he hauled him down. And I don't know if he necessarily had to, but the man he was
yeah,
by him and he grabbed him and pulled him down. So
yeah. It was they were going to the corner, so it wasn't like it was a scoring
I
opportunity or
know
anything. It was a bit of a
it's too bad.
bad penalty to take there. And
And
then yeah, 4-on-3 in the overtime, and
yeah, that was tough.
I think the shot may have got tipped or Paddock was screened because you can see the way he reacted to it.
Yeah, yeah,
So that was tough. But 4-on-3 is almost
That's tough.
The percentage on a 4-on-3 power play is, I think it's got to be way higher than a 5-on-4 power play.
I would imagine.
It seems,
so.
anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a tough one. But glad to come up with a point at the very least.
Yeah, we came back, forced it to overtime. So
yeah, anything else you want to touch on that game?
Face-offs in those two games, the PA and Saskatoon games. We've been struggling, it seems. We get the power play, we can't win the first face-off, right? Like that's tough.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we were 42% in that Saskatoon game, so it wasn't terrible, but the PA game we did win in PA was only 25%. Like,
wow.
It seems like we were losing every face-off. So,
and when we had Lecition, that was really one of a bright spot that helped us quite a bit during these games. That were close.
Power play 1, you win the face-off. Penalty kill 1, you're winning the face-off, right?
Yeah.
It seems.
Yeah.
So it's either helping your power play and it's helping your penalty kill. So
totally.
And which both have declined heavily since they've been gone, right? So
right. Then it was on to Swift Current, and I think we'll have to admit that when we criticized Hofer earlier in the year, it wasn't so much that we thought he was bad. We were wondering how people were so high on him when he had such a small sample size, right? Like, he played not very many games last year, and they were all games that Skinner was being rested.
Yeah, so he's playing against all the low end teams. So, but man, he's stepped up this year. You got to admit that. So,
and maybe that's why we're not scouts, is we don't see
for
it.
Sure.
So whoever knows how to scout goaltenders obviously saw something in him, and then we saw it on Saturday night. He played fantastic. We put up 46 shots on him, and man, Swift Current's team is pretty bad. There were some terrible plays where they hung him out to dry, and he stepped up, and boy, he played good. That's really a bright spot for them.
We had some ample scoring chances in that game.
Oh, I the one that really sticks out in my mind is they had a defender behind the net, and they had the puck, and he just gave it right to our guy. Not even coughed it up. He just passed it to our guy. And then they obviously Hofer stopped him, but yeah, that was a tough game. And this team doesn't have the offense really anymore, so hot goaltender is going to be really take us down a peg. We're not scoring goals as it is. I think I saw a stat. We haven't scored over 3 goals since the Lecition Henry trade. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. So it's gonna be some lean scores, but
yeah. Well, and I think it's going back to the hot goaltender where he's getting lots of rubber and he gets in a groove, like we just said, and
yep.
Like he took down PA, right? They had 50 some shots,
55
that night, 55, right? So, but I mean, we pushed the play in that game for sure. Like, we were the better team, no question.
Oh, yeah, we looked way better, but
but we just gave up a power play goal, and
Swift Current does not look good. We looked way better, but we didn't get the W, so
yeah, no, they
doesn't really count for much.
No, exactly. They got what matters is 1 goal, and that's all they needed, unfortunately.
Yeah. So tough schedule this week, really. 4 games and then a 3-3. And we think you were saying this game against Seattle, the guys just lost their gas in the third period.
Yeah, there's lots of penalties. We took how many penalties tonight? So.
Yeah.
Seattle really. Seattle was skating right by us. They looked good.
Yeah. Which they had an excuse not to. I mean, they've been sellers here too. They lost their goaltender, so
the leading scorer.
Yeah, they had all the excuses in the book to not be a good team either. And again, it's just evidence that you have to close out this Regina Pats team. You can't let them hang around. You have to, if it's a 1-goal game, it's not safe because they can just get some lucky bounce and whatever. You have to put up, the 6 goals, get it away, get it out of reach. So.
Yeah, no, we hung around. Like they'd score one, we score one.
Yeah.
And we just couldn't get that next one. I know we hit a couple posts, a crossbar. We had some good chances.
Power play was clicking, 3 for 6.
Yeah, the power play finally looked good. It's been dismal, especially since the break. But finally tonight, all 3 of the goals were on the power play tonight. So.
Yeah. Gave up 47 shots again though.
Yeah. Well, 20 of them were in the first period apparently.
Yeah. 20-4 after the first.
Yeah, it didn't seem like it was 20, but I guess it was. But yeah, the penalty kill again, the 5-on-3, cross ice pass, and he put it in a wide open net. Right? Yeah. They tried it once, and he fanned on the one timer, and they just couldn't stop it again. Like we got away with one. Mm-hmm. They scored it on the second try, so you knew it was coming. It just they couldn't get a stick on it or what. So that was a little frustrating.
Yeah, but I mean, it's tough. A tough week. Come out 4 games and just get 1 point. But I feel that, and I listened to a interview with Strush. It was actually during one of the intermissions of this game, and he's just emphasizing the effort, and he says it's okay. These guys are going to make mistakes, but he just emphasized if you're not trying and you're not putting an effort, that's unacceptable. Making mistakes is okay. Like that's fine because they're young players and everyone's learning and whatnot. But if the effort isn't there, then you're probably going to be not playing the next game or sitting for the rest of the game or something like that. So it sounds like the coaching staff here has a good directive and right goals with these kids because it's going to be a tough go for the next half of the season, I think.
Well, yeah, especially we've traded away tons of veterans now. We've got 3 20s and 3 19s. Yeah. So less than a third of our roster is 19 and 20. So, that's totally agreeable, right? You just want to see guys putting out effort. Yeah, okay, you make a mistake, but you learn from it, right? They're young, so
exactly.
You just want to not happen the next couple times, right? So
yeah. So
and I think the effort wasn't there tonight. I think maybe they were a little gassed.
Yeah.
It didn't look great. So, but they hung around, like you said. They hung around. There was a chance to win, but just didn't happen tonight. So
yeah, it's a tough go, those 3-3s. So
yeah, especially 2 of them on the road, right?
Yeah.
And then
So yeah. Anyway, so we kind of alluded to it, how much this team's changed just over this week. Got to tip our hat to John Paddock and some of these moves that he's made. I think it seems like people are pretty happy with what we've got and what he's dealing here. Why don't we start with Tyson Feist? He was one of the first moves that we got. That was so that was kind of odd. I didn't expect us to be getting players for draft picks, so we traded away a 5th round in 21 and an 8th round in 19 and picked up he's a 6'3", 177-pound defenseman, and I guess I wasn't expecting us to be trading away picks, but these are pretty nominal picks, a 5th and an 8th. So
to pick up an 18-year-old, right? So he's going to be here for
and he's just actually turning 18, I think, right away. So he's
sorry, he's a 17-year-old. Yeah, my bad.
Yeah, he turns 18 on the 14th of January, I saw. So
so we've got him for 2 full seasons yet, right?
Exactly. So
and he asked for a trade by the sounds of it. So
yeah.
And we need another right-hand. Well, we need a right-hand shot on the blue line. So
right. Yeah, yeah, they were talking about that actually. What hand shot he is. So I think that's good. I think we're happy with that. We'll see how that plays out. The next big one, kind of a sad one. Scott Mahovlich to Lethbridge. Super happy for him to go to a contender. He just, like we've said in the past episodes, he was honestly one of the bigger and nicest surprises this year. He's a good hockey player. Like I don't want to repeat myself too much, but I thought he was the fighter and the goon, which he is. He can chuck him, but he was a good player too. And I think that's evidenced by what we got back, which is a third round for this year. And that's something we desperately needed. We were going into this year with, I don't think, anything higher than a 5th round draft pick. So good move. Happy for Scott to move on, and it's a big hole to fill, but good for him.
Yeah, no, definitely getting a third rounder. Like we gave up an 8th as well, but
right.
We sent a 7th rounder or got him for a 7th rounder from whoever. I can't remember who we got him from, but for a 7th to turn it into a 3rd, like that's not bad at all, right?
Yeah, exactly. Can't ask for much more there. Then a little defensive swap. Marco Creta traded for Blake Allen. So Blake Allen's a 17-year-old defenseman, he's a centerman.
Yeah, he's a forward.
6'1", 166 pounds, 17-year-old. He's actually from Davidson. It's a little closer to home for him, which is good.
Well, and the whole thinking, some people are thinking, oh, Kootenay's just picking up. Well, they are picking up all these
Manitoba boys.
Manitoba players, yeah, right.
Do you think they're actually doing that? Is that a strategy? Or is it
I don't know, but it looks like it, right?
It does, yeah, absolutely. I just don't know if that matters that much to anyone.
I don't know. It's all the hubbub around them moving to Winnipeg or not, right? So,
which still is not been announced, has it?
No, still hasn't.
Yeah.
No.
I saw Kootenay had
and I just was reading just before.
Oh, go for it.
I just seen that they just fired one of their assistant coaches this weekend. So, some more stuff happening around that franchise.
Well, I saw they had a retro night. And I was thinking, like, how retro are you? You haven't been there that long. Like, you're... oh, well. They had, like, wear your old Kootenay jerseys. I don't know.
Okay.
They've actually gone through quite a few. For how long they've been there, they've had lots of logo and color changes and stuff. But, yeah.
Well, and then I see Brandon, they were having some theme night with the Bombers. I'm like, well, they're just trying to get the Winnipeg fans.
What's his name?
On the brand.
Their quarterback.
Yeah, that's right. They're just trying to get all the Winnipeg fans on the Brandon bus before Winnipeg or the teams in Winnipeg, right? So I thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah.
So, but for the trade for our end, it's like, well, we got a year younger again, right?
Yeah. So, and really,
like we listed Creta, so he's just a pickup. And we trade for this guy that got drafted in the 3rd round. So, somebody thinks he has some potential.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's great. Creta, I didn't dislike him. He just wasn't that good, to be honest. He was...
undersized defenseman.
Yeah.
It's tough for him out there.
Yeah, it is. So,
good
luck to him.
I'm liking that trade again.
Hopefully if they do move to Winnipeg, he's closer to home, so maybe that's good. Who knows, right?
Yeah.
Good, so that's good. And then I don't know if this one was surprising. Not really. We kind of had an idea that Joseph might be a bit of trade bait, just his age and whatnot. But so Jane Joseph out to Vancouver for a 2nd in 2019 and a 6th in 20, which is huge for us. Like,
yeah, 2nd round pick. I'll take that all day.
Yeah, so happy with this one. Jaden Joseph was a good player. Again, this by evidence of the draft pick you get in return. Someone sees something, and he is a good player. So, yeah, it's kind of I feel bad for him. Just as a person, he's getting moved around so much. I wonder if there was some discussion with him before saying, don't get too comfortable. We're in a rebuild mode. You're this age. You might be on the move. I don't know if they're that open to guys. I would hope so. That's always nice. I think transparency.
I listened to the interview with Paddock, and it didn't sound like they were shopping him. It sounded like Vancouver was shopping 4 guys, right? So I think Vancouver was definitely the driving force behind this trade.
Okay.
They had that Legion tryout that didn't seem to work for them, so they're looking for some more scoring because they need scoring, right?
Yeah, they do.
They've got a great defensive team. They're not giving up hardly any goals, so they're just looking for some more scoring. But a second, we'll take that all day. So that adds 2 more picks to the Henry and the Sisson trade. So now you got 7 picks out of that trade.
So out of 19, in 2019, we have a first, a second, and 3 thirds, and then 5, 6, 7, 8. But I don't think we had any before 5 going into this year. No. So I think that's what we could have hoped for. And then there's still rumor that Pratt and Holmesy might be on the trade block.
Possibly. You'd think, between Joseph Holmes, Pratt, one of those guys is going to go for sure kind of thing. But I don't know. But now with our roster, we have 3 19s. That's it, right? So if we don't make any more moves, there's our 3 20s for next year, right? So they may not be looking to move another guy, right? They still want to have some scoring for next year, stay relatively competitive. So,
but it could be they're not shopping them. It could something show up though. Someone.
Yeah, if there's an offer there, they may not refuse that, right? So.
Yeah, we'll see. So overall, it was a busy week for John Paddock. I think I don't know how he pulls these things off. Those are some pretty impressive picks that he got in return. So good for him.
Yeah, I'm impressed by the trades. That's for sure.
Okay, so a new team looking into next week. We have 3 games coming up. Quick turnaround here on a Wednesday game against Portland. I tweeted last week wondering if Cody Glass was going to be there. I don't know if he will or not. I thought for sure he would not be if Team Canada was playing in the gold. But with their early exit, I don't know. I think there might be an opportunity that he's here.
Yeah, I think he's going to be playing Tuesday night in Brandon. So.
Oh, okay.
That's for sure.
Okay. Then.
So because he's from Winnipeg, right? So there's going to be lots of friends and family there.
So a good chance that he'll be playing.
Yeah, and that's not good for us. That's for sure. Because they just whooped Moose Jaw 6-0 without him. So.
I think they scored 4 goals in the first period too. So.
Oof.
Yeah, and Moose Jaw's no slouch.
No.
And then they have Blitchfield, he was I think it was just the WHL, not CHL, but he was the WHL Player of the Month for December. So during the Access broadcast, they played a highlight reel of him. Oof.
Oh, really?
It was pretty outstanding. This game might be worth going to see these guys. It could be an epic beatdown, but I think watching these guys might be worth going and watching it because
it's worth the price of admission here.
If they're both on, it could be pretty cool to see them. They're both probable NHLers. I still don't understand why Blitchfield's not in the A.
I don't know either.
Back to the WHL,
well, that's on San Jose. They sent him and Noah Gregor back to the WHL. So maybe they just have a plenty forwards that they thought, well, let's send these guys back to junior, right?
Yeah.
They didn't want to put them in the East Coast or something, so they're like, okay, let's send them back to WHL and go from there.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, who knows?
So that could be.
I think Portland was definitely not expecting him back, but they're like, well, we're not going to say no and trade him. Well, we're going to take him even though he's a 2-spotter, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah, an import and a 20.
yeah, but he's definitely worth it, right? So
Yeah, obviously. Are you going to get your jersey signed?
well, yeah, I've got a little bit of an in, so I'll see if I can get it signed.
Yeah. So you won a Portland Winterhawks jersey, just a blank, but you're going to try and get at least. Are you just going to get the numbers signed now and then get them put on, or?
Well, I'm getting the jersey be done on Wednesday, so
Oh, okay. Okay.
Torchies is doing it up. He's like, yeah, I can get it done for Wednesday, so
Cool. Cool. Yeah. Good luck with that. That'd be awesome.
yeah, so
And okay, so Portland, and then at Medicine Hat on the Friday.
Friday, yeah.
So that is the game. That's the first game after the trade deadline. So it could be a whole different team then too. Well, not a whole different team. We only have so many more pieces to move, but it could be a few different faces. I guess we'll see how that goes down. Medicine Hat's pretty hot. I was just looking. They're 8-2 in their last 10. I watched them on that CHL showcase.
Oh yeah, that's Saturday afternoon.
Yeah. Calgary beat them, but yeah.
I don't know, they seem to really be up and down. Like they can't.
Hollett just does not impress me. He didn't look good in that.
No, I think Sogard's their guy.
I think
though,
so.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think they might run with him in the second half.
I think they'd be wise too. Yeah. Yeah, he looked good I don't know how good he looked. He got lit up quite a bit, but
Yeah, in the World Juniors. So give him a little break here, and then
yeah.
because they played their third goal a couple times, and he got a win or two instead of Hollett.
Okay.
So
Yeah. And then Red Deer here. Red Deer has been trying to make a little name for themselves, maybe a push for the East here, or the Central, I should say.
yeah, that's wide open. Like
Yeah, they're sitting at 22-16 if you count all the overtime losses and shootout losses and whatnot. So yeah, we'll see.
yeah, they're right there with Edmonton and Lethbridge.
Yeah.
So and yeah,
Ooh.
even Medicine Hat. Medicine Hat's tied in points with Red Deer. So
Yeah, so these are games these
and
teams need
Calgary's
to
just-
win.
yeah,
So I
yeah,
don't
Medicine
know.
Hat and Red Deer. They're gonna be seeing Regina on the score sheet or on the schedule here and say we need this win. So
What's your prediction here?
we don't have a chance against Portland, that's for sure. If we lose by 5, I think I'll be happy.
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
maybe with Glass being out and putting him back in, he won't mesh with the guys. You know, maybe.
Well, it's
I
not
guess
like
he's
he was
got-
sitting on a beach. He was playing high level hockey.
No, true. And maybe
So-
that brings him down a bit or something. I don't know, but it's going to be a rough one, I think. And yeah,
Could be a tough
in
one.
Medicine Hat,
Yeah.
and then back here against Red Deer. I'm going to miss that game, but
Yeah. It's gonna be a tough
Um,
week, I think.
yeah, it'd be tough to get any points this weekend. I think
Yeah.
that's what we thought, or that's what we thought better. This week would be a little better than it was.
Yeah.
We ended up only getting 1 point, and we were hoping for 4.
Yeah.
So I might put my expectations a little lower this week.
But yeah, in terms of wins and points, but like Strush said, we just want to see the effort. So
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's all we're looking for now.
Yeah.
And maybe some jersey draws.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. I said when the Wednesdays come, but the thing is, I was expecting it to be cold in January, and it's
Yeah.
not. So people are still showing up. So
Oh, and speaking of that, the attendance has been really good. Like I've noticed lately. Like
it has. And I said that
it's
when my wife, we were sitting trying to get out of the parking lot. I'm like, God, there's still a lot of freaking people coming to these games. So
yeah, like we're averaging over 5,000 a
Yeah.
game. So
that's
pretty good.
really good, really good.
Like-
I've been thoroughly impressed this year with the attendance. So
Yeah, like we're watching these games on the road, and
oh,
it's ugly. Like
Oh.
Saskatoon was like three
Brutal.
something.
brutal, and it
Oh,
looks bad there too. So,
it looks bad there because it holds so much more, right? So it looks
Yeah.
like there was nobody at the Saskatoon game.
so. Yeah, games are still still fun to go to, and they're still an entertainment. So, yeah, but boy, some of those other teams, they look bad. But okay, so speaking of other teams, just looking, PA still doing quite well. They lost to Moose Jaw, I saw, in PA. So
yeah,
another team to beat them at home. Obviously, they don't have Ian Scott and Leeson back yet, but I don't, I'm not as...
They'll be back by the weekend for sure. So
we'll see how this tail end of this year goes for them. I don't know if I'd put all my chips on them right now to win the dub.
They can't stay as hot as they were, right? That first half was unreal. So
yeah.
They might come back to the pack a little bit here.
Yeah, I think so. I'm not gonna... I wouldn't put my money on them to win at all. I think they should win the East. But you never know. A team like Lethbridge, they made a move for a goaltender. If they can put something
Seattle's,
together, yeah. That could be a really good East final actually. So yeah, it's gonna be an interesting few days here with leading up the trade deadline on the 10th, and then the rest of the season is gonna may not be as interesting for us, but the rest of the league will be. Do you know who's in a tough spot is Moose Jaw? They're like the Brandon last year, right? They're in it, but I mean, they're probably not going to win. So what are you going to do? You're going to just, and they have got some assets there that they could be looking to move. They haven't yet. I don't know, right? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, like that's a tough call, right? So
it'd be interesting to see what they do. Because Almeida, he's only, 19 this year? So he's not going to age out. And they have...
Langan.
Yeah. He's really good. You have Josh Brook. Like, yeah, I don't know if people are ringing the phone there. I would be surprised if they haven't got some offers for those guys, but who knows?
Yeah, maybe they're not going to sell. Who knows?
Mm-hmm. Because if you could get in on the... kind of like Brandon did last year, right? Get in through the Central as a wild card and...
Yeah, pick up a few guys. Well, you can't pick up young guys anymore, but pick up a couple picks or some good picks for these guys. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what you do, right?
Yeah, tough spot for them.
Yeah, because you got Saskatoon, PA, Moose Jaw. They're all pretty solid. So, it looks like you're going to play Saskatoon in that first round, most likely, if they stay where they are. So. Because they're right with Saskatoon, so and then you got to play. Yeah, they can, and then you play PA in the second round. So it's like, oof, what do you do, right?
Yeah. I think we got to give a shout out to Dub Network's coverage on the trades and draft picks and whatnot. If you want to keep up with it, definitely check out Dub Network, both Twitter and they have a website. They have a fantastic trade deadline tracker, as well as the draft pick thing, like they tell you who they came from and how they got there, and it's awesome. It's fantastic.
Yeah,
work.
If they get the information, because I know somebody traded a third rounder, but they had 3 third rounders. So which pick was it, right? So they put out as much information as they get, but yeah, it's nice to know where the pick is coming from. So like for next year, our first round pick is from Lethbridge, so it's going to be a lower pick, like lower in the round, and then our second rounder is from Vancouver, so again that's going to be a lower pick, and then our third rounder, it's Moose Jaw's pick from Lethbridge. So like they got all this information, so kind of what spot we're going to be picking at. And yeah, like another third rounder, it's Lethbridge's, and then the third rounder is Tri-City, right? So
yeah,
they get all the information out there. It's really good. So, and I just seen that they tweeted out. They said they had 300% more traffic this December from last December. So,
oh really?
They're definitely
they're putting out some pretty good content too. So
yeah, and if you're on the email list, you get an email every day now. Kind of what happened last night and all sorts of things. So
have the daily dose of the dub.
Yeah.
So really good resource there if you're looking for following all the trade deadline moves and what draft picks or who's got what, and
Yeah, just keeping up on all the scores and the kind of highlights and stuff from around the league as well.
yeah, it's good to see. So, anything else you want to talk about today?
No, I think that's about it. It's a pretty busy week for us, so.
Yeah, it was tough week in terms of points, but lost a few people, some good players, but things are looking okay. They're looking okay for the future, I think. We got a decent group of hardworking kids here right now, and we got some good draft picks coming up, so it's okay.
Yeah, and if they don't make any more moves, you kind of almost look at this team right now where it is, and that's going to be our team for next year, right? Like,
yeah, you're right.
Yeah, you're going to lose your 320s, but
320s, but you're not having guys go to the AHL and stuff early.
So, yeah. So you only got 319s this year as of now. So
yeah,
there's your 320s next year if it stays like that, and then everybody just moves up a year. So
yeah, okay. So we will sign off for this week, and hopefully come out to that Portland game, see some good players. That should be a fun one, regardless of the outcome. And a couple more. See you at the rink.
All right, see you guys.
Good night.